past couple of weeks, we've had the chance to try out the new MCDM RPG, or the upcoming RPG, Draw Steel. And I've had the chance to play their Shadow class, 2 different builds over, I think, 5 sessions as of last night. And I think I'm getting the hang of it. So here are my first impressions of the Shadow class. So, the Shadow. It is your roguish archetype in the Draw Steel RPG, and when I first got my hands on character creation, I really wanted to lean into that sort of like grizzled lone assassin character, and safe to say the fantasy was fulfilled. Super fun. That sort of like quintessential assassinate feature, when you are able to pull that off and the dice rolls well, it's great. That's what we're here for. If we're playing an assassin, that's what we want. High damage. But we also want to be able to move around the battlefield, and that's what I got. My abilities were sort of geared towards darting in and out of cover and concealment, sneaking up on your enemies, but also getting them away from the pack, or leaving and finding sort of lone targets to pick off. And that's where my abilities led to edges, which is kind of like advantage. We'll get kind of into the nitty gritty of combat in another video, but this allowed me of those higher chance of hitting those higher tiers and doing that max damage. It felt really cool to be able to sort of go off on your own and get those big hits and survive, especially not being the kind of tankiest or chunkiest one on the field. Stealthing around, teleporting in these puffs of black smoke and shadow, just fulfilled the fantasy. Gave it a sort of like mystic edge too, which was really interesting. And it just felt great to play. Talking about feeling fun, there's one ability that gets a specific mention because it is so good, feels great. It's definitely one of my favourites, and I've taken over both the builds that I've played with this, and I'm not ashamed. It is a triggered action, kind of like a reaction in D&D, and it is called Hesitation is a Weakness. Now, in the initiative for Draw Steel, you have your player's turn, and then you have your enemy's turn, or your director's turn. And this is triggered immediately after one of your companions or party members finishes their turn, and it allows you to slip in before the minions or the big bad or the director gets to act. It feels great, especially, you know, you're sort of waiting for your turn, you're sussing out the fields. Perhaps your party member is just, you know, finish an awesome move, set it up with a couple of advantages, put a condition on there that might trigger with one of your abilities, or just give you a better chance of landing that big damage. Maybe it's not looking so hot on the battlefield and you've got enemies sort of outnumbering you, and you want to get in there and take someone off the board before they can have their turn. Well, what are you waiting for? What is more roguish than that, than seeing the advantage, finding that exact right time and going, I don't care about the rules, director, I think you'll find it's my turn now. It feels great, highly recommend. For my second Shadow sketch, and the character that we're going to continue this playtest with, I deviated from kind of any type of roguish archetype that I've played, not only originally in this system, but over kind of all systems that I've experienced. I got so excited when reading the kits, and I definitely had one direction in mind that was tossed asunder as soon as I saw the pugilist kit. Now, at character creation, I did it with another character. Hello, David. Super fun, and we knew that our characters wanted to have a shared background, so not only did we want to have it feel like we'd fought before, we wanted to fight well together in game and sort of picked our abilities to build off each other and make sure there were moments where he could like add to my damage, or I could maybe give him an edge, or that the way we sort of fought could gel, and not only feel good but kind of look good as we were getting into those nitty gritty descriptions. I went for the subclass, or the College of Caustic Alchemy, and I ended up building this mechanic who had a talent for alchemy and explosives, engineering, tailoring. The skills in this also just so fun. A jack of all trades who sort of, as we discussed, it's kind of Batman. That pugilist, that brawler, that stealthy shadow moving through the night, getting into the position, throwing down a smoke bomb when things get too hairy so they can duck into cover and come back swinging with these kind of metal gauntlets that she coats with acid and poison as a feature of the subclass before sort of just jumping into the fray, and been able to keep up in melee with, I'm sure it was a tactician, but other more sort of chunkier, brawler, beefy type characters again on the field, even kind of more so than the kind of lone assassin, the way they were sort of built to like move in and out. It just, again, I know I keep repeating myself, but it felt and feels so good to play. And I think being able to play these two shadows sort of really close together and coming away with two completely different feeling characters, not only in flavour but in mechanics, it feels great. It fulfills that fantasy. It felt epic. Really, really fun to play. And I can't wait to play more. I can't wait to play more of Sketch, my sort of pugilist rogue, going forward. But I'm really excited to see where this system ends up, because as of now, we're having a lot of fun with it. So that is my first impressions of the Shadow class from the new MCDM RPG Draw Steel. I am having a blast with this system. Thank you so much to our director Sam for running it, and I can't wait to play more. If you're interested in checking it out, we will do a little link down below, and stay tuned for more videos on Draw Steel.